partners, volunteers, and supporters who make all of our work possible. Tonight's theme, Our Soil, Our Future, will honor our collective past, present, and future, as well as uplift how our compost movement supports environmental justice, tackles climate change, and promotes equity across Los Angeles. We're gonna give it a minute or two, like I mentioned, before we get started, but I would like to share some details about tonight. Throughout the night, we'll have Spanish translations going on in the chat box. Paola Reyes, our community engagement coordinator, will be dropping translations in the chat box as we move through the program. So gracias por estar con nosotros esta noche. Durante el programa vamos a tener traducciones en el chat y Paola Reyes va a estar ayudando esta noche. In a world where we are connected virtually, we'd like to know where you're joining us from. As you can see on the screen, feel free to visit slido.com and enter the code 79859. Once again, slido.com and enter the code 79859. But if you didn't catch that, that's totally cool. Don't worry about it. Anjali Ferrari, our LA Compost Hubs manager, will be dropping the information in the chat box. Throughout the night, we'll also have two ongoing activities. One will be a live painting by an incredible artist, Erika Montelongo, and the other one will be a live look at microbial life in compost by Lynn Fang, who is our LA Compost Operations Manager. As we go through the night, please visit their videos. A lot is gonna be happening and it's all really, really exciting. For Lynn's video specifically, if you look at the top center of your Zoom, you'll be able to see a view options menu. There, feel free to scroll down to shared screens and you'll be able to see the Gratitude Party main screen and Lynn's video. So you'll be able to switch in between both as we go through the program. And we're also very grateful to be joined by Mapache, a spoken word artist who will share her piece, Garden Gnome. And we also have some goodies for y'all tonight. We have over 10 raffle items that we're gonna be giving out. And that's a big thank you to our sponsors. That's Osea, that's Todo Verde, that's Patagonia. And then that's also our staff who have contributed to making sure that we're able to give out an incredible amount of raffle prizes. To enter the raffle, please visit the link on the screen or scan the QR code with your phone's app. And if you didn't catch that, don't worry about it. Once again, Anjali will share that in the chat box. So we have a lot going on tonight. We are very thankful to have you join us, especially because we'll be honoring incredible leaders across Los Angeles who make our work possible. And to kick us off with the program and introduce tonight's honorees will be our founder and executive director, Michael Martinez. Michael, feel free to take it away.
Thank you, Diego. And welcome everyone. Wherever you may be joining us, I simply want to thank you and welcome you to our 5th annual first ever virtual gratitude party. From our first gathering in 2016 that took place in a warehouse during the Frogtown Art Walk, a group of volunteers were simply trying to prove that this work mattered. We collected food scraps on bike, composted this material in our backyards, and gave the finished compost away at local farmers markets. And whatever we got, the donations we received, we were able to build some school gardens. And telling the full story of food was part of our core ethos from the very beginning. And although community composting really hadn't caught on at the time, momentum was definitely building. In 2017, the first domino of support came through, leading to more compost hubs, more staff, more volunteers, and more beautiful connections being made across LA County. Which brings us here today. 5 years later, I am honored to be a part of a team and a community that represents the diversity of this beautiful city. When we showcased our Community Composters of LA photo series last year, we mentioned that a beauty of a compost pile comes from the diversity of its ingredients. And the beauty of LA comes from the people who call it home. For those of you that call LA home, and for those of you who are supporting us from afar, we simply want to thank you. Thank you for believing in us as we work to restore lost connections to the soil and one another. This year's theme is Our Soil, Our Future. And it's very fitting to speak these words with the way this year, this week, and even this day have developed. When we look at the soil, and specifically the soil food web, we see a vast web of connections being made right below our feet And you'll see that in Lynn's screen if you toggle between back and forth. This network is more complex than any freeway system or even social network we've seen. And it represents an incredible web that shares resources, communicates with the larger community, and is concerned for the health and well-being of all life that they are supporting. What's taking place below our feet can also take place above the ground. The human network that we create across the most populous county in the country has the power to impact both the soils and souls across Los Angeles. This network includes all of you here, our drop-off participants, our volunteers, our staff, interns, board of directors, and those who have been building up their soil long before our work began. I want to say today is a day of celebration, a day to express our gratitude to all of you supporting this work for so many years, as well as reflect on the work and road ahead. No compost pile works in isolation. It's all about community. You are our community. You have had our backs for the past 5 years, and you have continued to show up to reimagine a city that values its soil and its people. So with that, I want to just say on behalf of all of us at LA Compost, thank you for joining us today. I'd like to move the spotlight on our honorees for today. For the past 3 years, we've taken a moment to shine light on some incredible partners who make up this powerful human network that I speak of. This year's Compost Community Champions have helped take our work to the next level. Our first honoree has also taken the time to both recognize and invest in the power of individual actions leading to healthier, more resilient communities. The team at Accelerate Resilience LA reached out to us over a year ago with the goal to dramatically accelerate implementation of climate resilient strategies across LA. They had a plan to collaborate with groups, organizations, and communities across the region to take action in making the region safer, healthier, regenerative, and more climate resilient. We want to thank them for inviting us to be a part of this initiative, allowing us to co-create programs throughout South Los Angeles, while also spotlighting the importance of soil across the city. Please join me however you may, whether it's snapping, silent clapping, jumping jacks, or a backflip, in welcoming ARLA's project executive, Andy Lipkis.
Hello, thank you. Is this my time to say thank you?
This is your time.
Hey, it is such an honor and such a joy to be with you. I'm Andy Lipkis. I'm founder of Tree People, and I am currently the project executive of Accelerate Resilience LA. I'm sitting on top of the soil of unceded land of the Tonga Nation. It's also where I grew up, and I give respect and appreciation to them as the traditional caretakers of this land. ARLA is our name for short. Our vision and our mission is that LA is not set up to be resilient for major shocks, including climate change events, earthquakes, and other triggers that cause major infrastructure failures and social failures. We see that we're just not prepared for what's happening, for how we've been mistreating the earth. The threats and vulnerabilities for LA include extreme heat, water supply, water quality, flooding, food security, urban wildfire. And we are focused on working from the bottom up, from communities, people to people, neighbor to neighbor, block to block, and also trying to move agencies to cooperate and manage the whole ecosystem from the top down. And so those are a lot of policy words, but all of that comes down to people like you, like all of you who make up this family of LA Compost. Because the work you are doing is connecting humans to the soil. And you know all of that, but that is the very basis of us trusting each other, holding each other together, and moving humans from consumers to understanding that we are better as, and we were built to be regenerators. And that's what our goal is to do, is to actually help shift people to moving from that consumer, unwittingly consumer destroyer, which we've been told is our job, to embracing the role of regenerator. And that's exactly what you do. And that's why it's such an honor to be honored by by you, but such a joy to be working with you as partners and supporters. I want to acknowledge the huge importance of your work and mention the cutting edge science that's showing that soil, compost, and fungi are the medium that hold us together and connect us. And we're seeing it on screen with the micro edition, which is such a wonderful thing. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about that. Of course, it happens on farms and forests and everywhere, including cities. So when soil is healthy, and as we work to make it healthy, it enables us to connect to our true nature, to experience that we're like trees, helping nurture, feeding, healing, supporting, and protecting each other. And thank God we get to be supporting that now, the breakthrough from today. So this is the very foundation of resilience, which is the ability to withstand shocks and bounce ahead to stronger communities, safer communities, more resilient. When this event is over tonight, we return to our daily routines, but we should be remembering individually, we're like a tree. Collectively, we're like a forest. Collectively, we have tremendous strength. We're grounded and rooted in the immediate reality of the soil beneath our feet. And you guys, LA Compost, are making this so real and so available for so many. It's especially important to remember and to return to this strength in the coming days and weeks, as the wind of politics may blow at hurricane force, even with today's breakthrough. So I want to congratulate you all again on your good work. We at Arla love this partnership and are fed by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. In years past, we've honored our honorees with a pitchfork. And although it'll be a little difficult to do that this year, we're going to make it happen so that it serves as a reminder of the beautiful work that is building up the soil. And thank you, Andy, for those words. Our next honoree embodies our tagline, soil and people. Someone who has worked tirelessly to improve soil and human health across LA. From banning plastic bags, moving our city beyond coal, implementing a new good for purchasing policy, helping establish the world's first climate emergency mobilization department rooted in equity and environmental justice, to his most recent initiative with Councilmember Koretz, a motion to keep the city's food waste out of landfills and use it to create compost to build healthy soil across LA parks, medians, and other degraded spaces. Please join me as you did before in welcoming the Director of Environmental Affairs for Council District 5, Andy Schrader.
Thank you, Michael. I also want to acknowledge that where I'm sitting is on unceded Chumash land. And I appreciate Andy's doing the same. Now I have to be honest, receiving an award makes me a little anxious for some reason, which I think is about, hey, wait, I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started. But I'm truly touched to receive this, particularly from LA Compost, and I certainly share it with my boss, LA City Council member Paul Koretz. We both have a warm place in our hearts for really effective organizations, and LA Compost is certainly one of those. The work you guys are doing, you've accomplished so much positive change across the region, and we really appreciate you. And it's also daunting to receive an award right after the legendary Andy Lipkiss. Andy's taught me so much over the years about the interconnectedness of plants and water and soil and trees, of course. So if anything I say today sounds remotely like it came from him, it probably did. So considering the insane week / insane year we've all had, I particularly appreciate the theme of the event today, our soil and our future. I have 2 kids. Henry is 6, Cora is 4. And pretty much every night I sit with them while they're sleeping and think about the future that we're actively creating for them. Despite the truly excellent election news we've heard today, and terrifying week that we've had waiting for it, we're still facing multiple existential crises. The COVID-19 crisis is spiking all over the country. The economic tsunami the virus has caused is getting worse. the racial reckoning, which is long, long overdue, finally here, and we need to take it as far, as fast as we can, and get as much change going as we can. We've got the massive biodiversity loss and mass extinctions going on, and of course, severe climate disruption, which, you know, judging from all the record-setting wildfires and extreme storm events, is just getting worse by the day. So there's much to be done, and we're doing stuff. With my boss, Councilmember Koretz, we launched the world's first Office of Climate Emergency Mobilization, which then amazingly inspired 1,800 cities to join us and declaring climate emergencies. So what happens in Los Angeles doesn't stay in Los Angeles, it spreads. That office is centered on engaging leadership across the city from frontline communities who are already feeling the brunt of climate impacts and of course from COVID impacts. And as part of that vision, and the reason I'm here today, about a month ago, we launched our Healthy Soil Initiative, which we call Regenerate LA. Michael and LA Compost was right there to help us kick it off and is one of our integral partners. With Regenerate LA, we want to find more locations on city land to develop composting operations. We're looking at one on Griffith Park that's in high negotiations for LA Compost to get there. I think that's as much as I can probably say right now. We want to join, as part of Regenerate LA, we want to join with our Healthy Parks initiative, use compost from the city's food and green waste to drastically reduce or eliminate the use of pesticides and herbicides and fossil fuel-based fertilizers, create safer space for children. And we want to do it all across the city. There's 469 square miles of land space, so we want to use as much as we can and really create the drawdown, the climate drawdown that we've been hearing about, carbon sequestering soil, so we can help turn around climate change. So, you know, in our attempts at climate action, we've been so focused on clean tech and high tech when the answer is in the ancient wisdom right beneath our feet. So I really appreciate all that you do at LA Compost. I'm looking forward to a long and fruitful partnership. And also about today, you know, go out, celebrate the victory today, but be safe. We don't want a huge and, you know, ironic COVID spike in a couple of weeks. And then we need to get work. We need to get, and then we need to get to work. We have a beautiful planet to save. So thank you all for all you do.
Thank you so much, Andy. Can't reiterate that enough. I'm so excited for what's ahead. Celebrate today, but prepare for tomorrow. Our last honoree I kind of want to speak of is more so on the community and support. And although food scraps get the majority of love when it comes to the composting process, the carbon inputs are just as important. Our next honoree is someone who has been holding it down with weekly mulch drop-offs across various hubs for the past 3 years. He and his team have ensured that all organics are viewed as a resource and that these resources are redistributed back into communities. Alex is with us today, and I'm hoping he can share a few words about our partnership. But Alex, please join, everyone please join me in welcoming Alex Maravilla from Trespero Tree Services.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Nice to meet you guys. It's a pleasure, you know, being able to help you guys in all the LA Compost. Well, you know, I've been with the team for about 1.5 years now. You know, it was previously owned by my brother. Just a little inside out, you know, my brother passed away about 3 months ago. So, you know, he's been working with Mike for a very, very long time, for 3 years, helping him out, you know, keeping him all with the compost, and Mike helping us out as well. It's a huge help for us. And I didn't really realize how big of a help it was for you guys and your guys' plan and the, you know, obviously plan for the future. So, I mean, it brings a lot of joy to me that obviously I'm able to help you guys expand and all that. So it feels good actually giving back to the community, you know what I mean? Like, I've never really been in a position like this in my life. And I mean, I'm born and raised in LA. So to me, being able to give back to the community, like I said, I mean, it's a huge, huge, huge help. So, you know, I got to thank Mike, got to thank you guys. You know, it's a huge help. And it feels good that obviously that you guys really care about the planet, care about the future. And, you know, it's the soil, it's the planet that we live in. So obviously we got to take care of it while we still can, you know, before it's too late. But Mike has a very good team, so Mike's a huge help for me. You know, obviously going to the dump and throwing away clean mulch is kind of it's a waste, you know what I mean? So obviously you guys are able to use it. Most of the majority of the time I have very clean mulch, and Mike's honestly one of my first guys I always message, call him, be like, hey Mike, do you have room for one? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I do. I have chance, and sometimes we don't, but he's always been telling me about the huge project that you guys have coming up. He's like, Griffin Park. He's like, man, once we get this, hopefully we get it. He's like, I'll be able to take one like every other day. He's like, dude, there's plenty of space. He's like, dude, he's like, the more the better, you know? So obviously, you know, we've been going through a little bit of a tough time, but obviously Mike's been making it better, you know, and it makes it a lot better. So I'm just glad that I'm able to help you guys, you know, in this huge project, you know what I mean? So I'll definitely share it with my sister-in-law, who's you know, the new business owner of it. So me and my sister-in-law are running the business now. So I'll definitely be glad to tell her that I was a part of a meeting. You know, it's a huge part, it's a huge stepping stone, and just moving forward, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of positive energy. So can't go wrong, you know what I mean? So there's a good team. So I'm glad that I'm able to help you guys out.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Alex's sentiments really embody the soil and people just from all walks of life contributing to this work. As Alex mentioned, he did not enter the business with the intentions to run it, but as he just mentioned, he now runs this mulch company, and it transcends him working with LA Compost. It's him helping at my son's preschool with mulch and tree trimming. That's helping in the community, and that's what really excites me with this human network, the fact that we are building an incredible web of positive actions, life-giving movements that it's taking place daily. As you can hear, or perhaps you personally have experienced in person, the strength of LA Compost is all through our partnerships. Every program offering is in partnership with an existing organization, community group, or person who has value-aligned priorities. This year, we are spotlighting just one of our deep partners, and our next community partner who I'd like to spotlight is someone who's developed her organization significantly over the past few months. Monique and her incredible team at Compostable LA have cultivated an idea into a compost program serving nearly 300 members and capturing close to 3 tons of organics monthly. We are fortunate to have witnessed this growth and honored to call them a partner. Please join me again in welcoming Monique from Compostable LA.
I love that you're talking about people as webs. So, you know, I'm relatively new. Angelina, I've only been here for 3 years, and the family that I have found in the sustainability and soil community has just been mind-blowing. It's so honoring. Like, I don't know, I just found like I found exactly what I'm supposed to be doing now. So, and I've been searching for that for a really long time. Our relationship with LA Compost actually started with Julie. I reached out to them and was basically like, hey, what's going on? Where's the compost pickup stuff? What's happening here? And they had really focused on these hubs, and I was like, well, I'll do the pickups, but I don't want to do it without your partnership. I'm not gonna make hubs and detract from your thing. So if you guys are my partner, I'll do the pickups. And I'm so grateful they said yes, because if they didn't say yes, I wouldn't have been doing this work I'm doing. So Compostable LA is a compost pickup service that's operating on the west side, the east side, and in the valley right now, with plans to expand to central LA and south LA next year. And Michael, we started on the west side, just piloting it for the first 6 months, and we received so much support from our community. And I was like, Michael, are you ready for like, where are we gonna go? And so we started at Cottonwood Urban Farm, and we've grown to Grow Good. And so I work with Ken and Johnny a lot, and Andrea, to process the compost. You know, we pick it up from members' houses and bring it there. Right now, I'm making 4 farm trips a week, dropping off material, and it's about 24 totes of 24-gallon totes. So 24 24-gallon totes of material each week that is being processed. Compost has been generous enough to say, like, yeah, your members deserve access to this too. They're part of the community. They're generating the material. Let's get it back to them. So we've been able to keep that going with COVID. They prepare bags that we drop off, which is awesome. Yeah, since we started with LA Compost in 2019, we've diverted almost 55,000 pounds of material over the course of 4,600 trips and pickups. So, you know, our first year, it was just over 7,000, and this past year alone has been 37,000 pounds of material. So it just shows what rapid growth we're going through. I've also brought on 2 co-owners, one of which is here. I'm going to give her a shout out, and maybe she can talk for a moment if she wants to. I actually met this co-owner. My co-owners are Jamie and Janae. I met Jamie because she was volunteering at an LA Compost Hub, and so really compostable wouldn't be where it is without LA Compost agreeing to let us bring our material there and giving me one of my co-owners. And Michael's been a crazy mentor to me. The relationship I have with Compost now, I wouldn't have without Michael really holding my hand and teaching me so much of what I know. I'm the queen of spouting Institute of Local Self-Reliance now, and that's because Michael introduced me to them. But for a little bit of this, I want to pass it over to Jamie and have her be able to kind of share her experience with LA Compost and Coastal LA, since it transcends both as well.
Hey guys, I'm Jamie. Thank you, Monique. I am very excited. I mean, I started this whole journey working in Cottonwood, you know, volunteering and doing composting week after week after week last year. And I noticed that Monique was dropping off these bins, and I was like, who is this person? We had a meeting. I gave her this crazy pitch. I was like, I imagined this world where we have this healing space. It's like a growing space. There's people of all walks of life. And then I didn't hear from her for 4 months. I was like, I guess that is good. That went and died. But she called me back, and, you know, we've been like plowing through and building out everything since then. I mean, the kind of core of things I think is really about people and community. And I mean, that has been everything that LA Compost has like sort of instilled and brought forth. And so I think that alignment is really what like drives the partnership that we share. You know, and I think that like one of the things that is really important is like empowering the communities to do and service themselves, you know, to really be community led. And so I think as a company, even though we're picking up, like at the core of it, we really want to distribute power. We don't want to power over. And so I think that's really important when it comes to like a lot of these conversations about climate, you know, because I think the people are a part of the solution as much as the planet and the earth. So yeah, I'm really happy that we still can continue to have this relationship with LA Compost.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the majority of this. And this is Casey. Casey, poor boy. I put him through so much when the company was getting something right. I was stickering buckets, and I had buckets just stored in my studio apartment, and he'd just come over and smell. So he hung through. But thank you so much for continuing to partner with us and support us and teach us and let us grow and be like, maybe this way, and we're like, okay. So it's been an honor. I can't say it enough.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for sharing those lovely words with us. The next presenter I will be presenting is very close to my heart. She gave me my son, and she's my partner. I would like to present to you guys Mapache. She's gonna do a very beautiful poem that's, again, close to my heart as well. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yesenia, but I go by Mapache. For those who are wondering why I am called Mapache, it's actually pretty funny. It was in high school. I had a friend who did not know boundaries. And well, he put his hand near my face and I bit him, and he was like, "You're like a wild raccoon." And so ever since then, that name stuck, and I decided to claim it as my artist name. And so everyone from high school knows me as Mapache or Raccoon. So just so you know the context of the name that was given to me. So this poem is called Garden Gnome. And I wrote it back in 2018. And I will let you hear it. And I hope you guys can see who it was about. It's titled Garden Gnome. I know a garden gnome who tends the garden all day long, who protects the seeds, harvests the fruit, and does all the hard work. I know the gatekeeper, the one who protects the garden with his life, values every spider, roly-poly bug he can find. I know the garden gnome, the one who makes beautiful bouquets for the children of the world to have, the one who gets apples and feeds them to the children in the hood. I know the gatekeeper, the one who allows entrance to those who need it, lets the children run around and have their fun. He is not your typical gatekeeper. He is not mean, rude, or a prude. He is kind, gentle, and nice. He knows hurt, but he shows nothing but love, creating magic with his kind words, working on his medicine through his plants. I know the garden gnome. He is the gatekeeper. He is the one who allows us humans to enter his secret garden and enjoy the magic in this hood.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Mapache. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I think I'm just like an emotional ball today. So thank you so much for sharing. I think it's deeply personal. As you can see from tonight, our work is about the people who make this work possible in the soil and our connection to each other. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, that's what's most important, right? So to each and every single one of y'all that I'm seeing on the video, thank you so much for joining us. For folks that aren't on the video as well, thank you so much for joining us. In the beginning, we asked, in a world where we are so virtually connected, where are you joining us from? So just want to share that folks are a little bit all over the place. Northeast LA. So if you're from Northeast LA, you know, some snaps. I'm from Southgate. We have folks from just like the general Los Angeles area, Pasadena, Pomona, Anaheim, and we also have someone that wrote down the Central Valley. So if that's you, I'll like drop it in the chat box. I would love to know a little bit more. But yes, practice positive affirmations. I saw in the chat box some shout outs for a couple of different folks on the team too. Pen, Andrea, a couple of other folks that would have to scroll up a little bit. Mark, Mario, Kenny, you name it, right? This work is driven by the people. So I'm very thankful for y'all. Today is also very, very special. We are launching our first inaugural individual giving campaign. And that's really to build a base of individual donors, of incredible leaders like you who support and amplify our work across Los Angeles. And right now, your support would be key in sustaining our work and investing in communities hit hardest by the pandemic. Whether you come in as a healthy sales advocate at $50 or have the capacity to give much more, every dollar counts and the impact is real. You know, you heard from Apache and you heard a little bit from Johnny. So to launch the campaign, we actually put a video together, which tells the story of Johnny. He's our team member born and raised in South LA, who is now building a compost movement in his own community. And your donations support the Johnnies across Los Angeles. There might be a lag in the video, so please be patient with us. But we put this together in-house. So also want to give a huge shout out to the planning committee, especially to Elena, who recorded and packaged this video together. So without further ado, we'd love to share Johnny's story video as the launch of our individual giving campaign with you all.
My name is Jonathan Galindez, and I am the South LA Regional Coordinator for LA Compost. I have lived in South LA my whole life. Growing up, we didn't have much, but always did the best with what we had. My parents, siblings of 5, and I moved around a lot, but always lived here in South LA. I am proud to call myself a son of immigrants. My parents are from Guerrero, Mexico. My dad came over through the Bracero program in 1985. My dad has taught me so much about hard work and sacrifice. Growing up, because of where we lived, it was easy to receive the message that no one expected much from you. In school, I was always drawn to the Green Club, where we learned about growing food and healthy eating. I think it's really what sparked my desire to do this work that I'm doing now, and not end up working for a corporation that was making our community more sick. I saw if healthy grocery stores came into the community, they would leave after a while because there wasn't enough revenue. Out of necessity, I had to work jobs I didn't want to work, but through mentorship and leadership of adults in my life, they directed me down to a path that offered me something more. They empowered me to feel like I had the ability to make a change in my community by bringing people together outside. I joined the LA Compost team in 2017 after working multiple jobs at the time just to make ends meet. My first day on the job was amazing. I was left to manage 2,000 pounds of food waste, and it took me about 6 hours. By the end of the day, I was standing on top of a huge compost pile. When I was turning the pile, my mind was at ease. It felt aligned with what I wanted to do. After working with LA Compost for 3 years, I love doing this work because of the connection it creates. Composting is beautiful. You have to slow down and focus on the present. And while you're doing that, you talk to those right next to you. And after those hours of working, you learn so much about each other. It's so amazing to see people open up. My vision for my community is greater than what a lot of groups think is achievable in this area. My calling is to help people reconnect to the land and grow food so we can benefit. I see something in the soil that reminds me of what my mentor saw in me at a young age. How, yes, it looks like it might have nothing to give, but with time, care, and willingness to believe in it, it can grow a whole forest one day. I am asking you to believe now, because we can't do this work alone. LA Compost needs your support, and it will allow us to continue being present in community spaces. Many people in the community want to start growing their own food, especially during these hard times, but people have to make a hard decision. Soil is expensive, and for the same price, they could feed their families. So they have to choose what's more important in the moment. When we provide valuable, healthy soil for community members and empower them to create it for themselves by composting, it eliminates that barrier. We want to continue doing this work in South LA for years to come. And with your support, it will allow LA Compost to do that. I really admire all that Michael, our founder, executive director, has created. He has said, the only letters separating soul from soil are you and I. Join us in our movement.
We hope y'all have enjoyed the video. It was so amazing. And looking at the videos throughout, I've been looking at your own individual videos throughout the video itself. It was really powerful to see folks get emotional. I know some folks on the call have a deep connection to Johnny. So feel free to share some positive affirmations in the chat box. And thank you, Johnny, for allowing us to share your story. And the impact of your work in South LA and beyond. And in a time of uncertainty, you know, that couldn't be more important. We as LA Compost believe that our soil is our future. Every day we lead the co-creation of spaces for local compost access and engagement, regenerative practices, and community empowerment. And that's all because of your support and your partnership across Los Angeles. We believe in a Los Angeles that prioritizes the health of its soil and the health of its people. But the reality, as you know, is that our work is impossible without you, without your friends, without your colleagues, without your neighbors. So I hope you donate today and become an Our Soil, Our Future donor. Our page is live, so you can donate by going to lacompost.org/give. And if you're ready to donate today, and you've set some funds aside for today, you know, I want you to drop down in the chat box and put, I am an Our Soil, Our Future donor. We will love to be able to bring you into our family at that level. But thank you so much for joining us. We are grateful for you, your partnership, and together we move forward in very, very powerful ways. We did have a raffle. Like I mentioned, we're gonna be giving over 10 items out tonight from a bunch of different sponsors like Osea, Patagonia, Todo Verde, folks that support our work and who partner with us. So with that, I'd like to switch it over to Anjali, who's gonna be leading us in the next section.
Awesome. Can everyone hear me? Hi. All right, so I'm excited to be facilitating today's raffle. Within the past 10 minutes, what I've done is I have put, I've given everyone who signed up for the raffle a number and have put that into a generator to find out who our prize winners are today. As Diego mentioned, we have a good amount of prizes to give away today. We have a total of 14 prizes. And yeah, 3 of them will be digital prizes in the form of a gift card, and then the rest will be actual tangible prizes that we will either call you or send you an email to coordinate follow-up pickup. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. The first raffle item that we are going to be giving away is a $50 gift card from a company called Osea. It's a vegan and cruelty-free skincare line and studio. And the winner of that gift card is Claire Fox. So I'm going to do a round of applause.
Yay!
Congratulations. So awesome. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next 2 gift cards. So they're both from a company called Todo Verde, an amazing woman-owned business that provides plant-based Mexican food that has incredibly authentic flavor. And yeah, under Todo Verde, I mean, there's an amazing Mexican cookbook that's all plant-based meals. The founder of the company, Jocelyn, she offers online cooking classes. So really the gift card is for you to take and then choose what it is that you want. The 2 winners, each gift card is $25. And the 2 winners for that is going to be Paloma Avila. Congratulations. And then we also have Catherine Moreno. So those are the 2 winners for that. Congratulations to you both. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into some of our tangible swag that we have. We are very fortunate to have received some cool swag from Patagonia again this year. So we actually have 8 raffle items to share with you guys. We've got 2 sweaters, 2 nano puffs, which are super warm, 2 shirts, a duffel bag, and a tote. And so the winners, I'm just gonna go through and announce the winners of each or of an item, and then we will follow up with you via email or phone call or text to let you know exactly which item you have won. All right, so we've got Christine Quinn as one of our winners. We've got Kim Johnson as one of our winners. We've got Brooks Malberg as one of our winners. We've got Rosie Penita, I hope I pronounced that correctly, as a winner. We have Zuzana Fabian as a winner, as well as Blanca Gonzalez. So a huge congratulations to all of you guys. You guys are gonna be getting some Patagonia swag that you can rock this fall, which is really exciting. And then we also are raffling off 2 garden kits. And this is gonna be coming just like from our internal team. And essentially what this is it's personalized gardens that is specific for the space that you live in. So we're raffling off 2 of these. So it really depends on your space, but the idea is really providing something that is gonna be like most appropriate for your space to ensure that it actually thrives, so that you can really have a pure and like good holistic experience with this garden. So yeah, and then it can be, the garden, it could be in the form of like a small raised bed in a parkway or in your yard, or we're also doing, you know, potted gardens for people who have maybe like limited space, live in an apartment or something like that. And if you don't have outdoor space at all, we still have suggestions and plants that we can share with you, and herbs that will grow inside of your home as well. So the 2 winners for those gardens are Zenaya Proel and Cindy Hubbuck. And I hope I did not slaughter both of those names. So yes, those are the 2 winners. And then we also have our last raffle item, which is the finished painting that Erica has been working on during this event. And the winner of that prize is Stephanie Lopez. So that's all of our winners. Again, we will be following up with you via email or phone to figure out exactly what the coordination of pickup looks like for you. But yeah, and then I just want to say, you know, LA Compost wants to just to say another huge thank you to all of the companies and the people who donated to like make this raffle even possible so we can share this with you guys. Also, a really huge special thank you to all of the volunteers that support this work, all of the people who've participated in our co-op programs with our partner sites, and of course, a really warm welcome to all of the additional talent that has joined us and brought additional value to this event. So a huge shout out to Lynn, soil biologist, who's been showing us what compost looks like under the scope. A huge thank you to Erica for sharing your beautiful artistic skills with us, and Mapache, thank you so much for that beautiful poem. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Michael just for some last words. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Anjali. I want to respect everyone's time, and we'll be sure to wrap up before 5 p.m. But I just want to take a moment to highlight also our staff and our team and our greater team. I want to start off by thanking our board of directors, as well as highlight 2 board of directors who are wrapping up their 4-year term with us. For the past 4 years, these 2 individuals have served on the board for LA Compost. I also just want to shout out Jose, Anna, and Caroline, who also make up the board of LA Compost. They've seen us grow our team, our programs, and our overall organizational capacity. And it's safe for me to say that LA Compost would not be where it is today without the support of these 2 individuals. From our early beginnings of having bi-monthly board meetings literally in my house at my kitchen table, they helped me navigate the onboarding of my future staff, which you see here. They vouched for us to future funders to believe in this work, and they helped usher new partnerships with the city of LA and state of California. These 2 individuals have gone above and beyond to support the overall health of LA Compost. Kel Rose and Claire Fox, thank you for your time, your energy, and your guidance throughout the years. You will always be a part of the LA Compost family, and we are simply honored to know you. If either of you would like to speak briefly about your time with us, we'd love to hear from you. Obviously, understand I'm just throwing this at you, so no worries, no pressure if not. But if you would like to share a brief minute or 2 of your involvement with LA Compost, it'd be great to hear from you.
I'll chime in here. Hey, Michael. Hey, everybody. My heart is so full right now. This is a very special day, and it's very special to be with all of you. Like Diego, I also feel a little emotional, and I'm drinking champagne because we have so much to celebrate. And it's an amazing day to celebrate regeneration, and specifically composting as the end of a life cycle and how necessary that is for healing, for transformation. We have a lot of systems that need to be composted, you know, patriarchy, white supremacy, colonialism. We need to compost these systems and regenerate, and it honestly only happens through the practice of it together. You know, there's been a lot of conversation of soil and people and community, and that's how it happens. That literally rewires us in our minds, in our hearts, and our spirits. So I'm grateful to have been a part of this board for the last 4 years. Michael, thank you. Thank you for the invitation, for trusting me, for being an amazing friend and visionary. It's just so incredible to see how much LA Compost has grown in these last 4 years. I think when I joined the board, there was maybe 3 staff, and now it's just grown so much. And I wanted to also thank my other board members for just being tremendous. Like, we've always operated as a family, and I think that energy and spirit is very LA Compost. And I look forward to continuing to be in our soil, our future, donor, supporter, involved, touching the earth with all of you. Congrats to Andy Lipkiss and Andy Schrader and Alex And also Monique, thank you. And Mapache, thank you for that beautiful poem. Johnny, that was an incredible inspirational video that I'm going to be sharing with absolutely everybody I know. It's just been truly a privilege to be a part of this board, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be around. So love y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Calaros, are you around?
Yes, I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you to Claire. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, all of the staff, all the volunteers, all the teams, all of the funders who have been. I just have to say that this has been honestly the biggest joy for me personally in my professional life, to get to support something that is so good and bring it resources and connectivity and fight for it and carve out space and support it. And just this, this attitude of growing what is good. We have to fight against things that are hard or bad, but really we're always growing something that's good. That's when we see just such incredible success and beauty and abundance and community. And so I'm part of LA Compost. I'm proud that you were the model for making community compost legal in the state of California. I'm proud that you are the reason that the city of LA feels confident in opening up its parks for composting. I'm proud to be one of the board members and incredible people who have been part of this whole project for so long. And I just am so excited to stay involved, continue to grow this space that is connecting people and food and land and all of us together. Michael, this is especially for you. Thank you so much for trusting us and for trusting me and for creating a space where we can all come together and support each other. I am so happy and proud to be a part of it. And I just can't thank you enough. It's a joy in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Calaros, and thank you, Claire. And I just want to kind of close the event by sharing that this event and really the majority of our programs would not be possible with the collective efforts of our LA Compost team. So I just want to shout them out by name to Diego, Anjali, Johnny, Paola, Elena, Lynn, Eleanor, Layla, Mark, Penn, Andrea, Mario, Gina, Kenny, Mimi, and Elliot. Thank you for dedicating so much of your time to this work. I remember I used to talk with my wife, Yvette, of imagine what LA Compost can be if we had a team. And I would always say that. And now I'm just like so humbled to think that we have 16 people who reflect this beautiful city in their own unique way, who are dedicating so much of their time and energy to this work that transcends their individual selves. They really see this work as a marathon, building on the work of those who came before us and passing on the baton to those who come after us. So I just want to personally shout my team out, those that I get to work with, those who bring me life, those who don't make this work, but a joy to do. Thank you all. Thank you to our volunteers. Thank you to those of you who are here. And really just this human network that I keep reiterating. There's 10 million of us in LA County. And we saw today what happens when we mobilize, when we act, and when we do good. We can grow good. We can inoculate goodness all throughout LA County. So celebrate today, as you've heard. It is a joyous day to celebrate. Thank you, Claire, for bringing up the fact that compost is a cycle of life. Things need to die. Things need to rot. Things need to go away. But compost allows for new life to be born, for new life to cultivate and regenerate the next cycle of life. So from the bottom of my heart to my team, to all of you who joined us today, I wish this was in person. There's music, there's food, there's a DJ, we're always hugging, but this is the best we can do. And it's just gonna make the time when we can hug and embrace that much sweeter when we do. So thank you to all of you. We will follow up with raffle winners via email. Sorry for those of you that came late and didn't get a number. We'll figure out something to hook you up in other ways, but have a beautiful evening. Celebrate tonight wherever you may be, and we look forward to crossing paths again. Good night, everyone.